So, just finished watching the Democratic debate in its entirety. And this is my reactions to what I thought about it. Wow. Yeah. So, leading up to this, a lot of the Democrats were pretty smug about it. They're like, well, it's not going to be like the Republican debate. We're not going to be arguing back and forth. And it's like, no. They got into it a lot. And yeah, they weren't as petty as Republicans on a lot of name calling, but it's clear they didn't agree on a lot of stuff. I found that so amusing. So I'll tell you one thing, CNN, they're just a bunch of assholes. I mean, it was like the same thing with the Republican debate that they hosted where they were just, Jake Tapper was just pitting them against one another. And you see Anderson Cooper doing this shit, and it's like, Senator Sanders, what do you think about what some policy that you didn't like that Secretary Clinton liked and shit like that, just back and forth. And at one point, the last question they asked, for Christ's sakes, was FDR said you can judge him by the enemies he's made. Who do you think is your greatest enemy? It's like, what the fuck? Like I said, CNN, they want the drama. And people criticize Fox News and MSNBC, but CNN, what a bunch of assholes. So, biggest winner tonight, I think, Martin O'Malley, by far. Kind of goes back to what I said about the other Republican debates, how I said one of them was like Carson, I thought was one of the winners, and Fiorina in the next one. It's not that they did better than everyone else. It's just that they had something to gain, and they got it. Clinton, Sanders, the big time guys, they stayed the same. But Martin O'Malley impressed people. Like, oh, who's this guy? This guy's pretty cool. And he showed, that's why I say biggest winner, Martin O'Malley. Biggest loser, by far, Lincoln Chafee. It's just, every time he was on, you just feel like the screws in your head just being grinded. It's like there's one where they brought up some bill that he voted either for or against, and he was talking about how it was my first bill, and, his dad had died. But it's like, why the fuck would you bring that up? That just makes you look so goddamn stupid. And it's a shame because he does seem like a pretty intelligent guy, but he just is like when he's talking about how his, in his time, he's never been through a scandal. And on the surface, it sounds like a good thing, but also means he's probably done jack shit. That there's never been any controversy. Yeah, biggest loser. One thing, Jim Webb. Like I said, Martin O'Malley, biggest winner. Clinton, Sanders stayed the same. Chafee, biggest loser. The person who got fucked over the most, Jim Webb by far. I mean, it's like they don't seem to ask him any fucking questions at all. He was fucking invisible the whole fucking debate. If they have any more debates, I think there's like 5 more with the Democrats. He's kind of got to do what Martin O'Malley did, because there were times where no one called on Martin O'Malley, no one brought him up, but he'd just be right in there, real slick. And Jim Webb, he's got to do that, because tonight he was just invisible. Like I said, CNN fucked him over hardcore. I mean, they had one where they're talking foreign policy and fucking going to war and shit like that. And he's the last person they call on. He's the only one up there with any fucking military experience. And what? Secretary of the Navy and like Undersecretary of fucking Defense? That's the guy you should have asked fucking first. Like I said, CNN is a bunch of assholes. So, looking forward to the next debate.